I took Dannon to lunch, and I remember this little girl came up to her and said, "I really like your skirt." And Dannon was so happy. I mean, she was just beaming. She said, "Thank you." And the little girl walked away and she said, "Do you think she knows?" And I said, "What, that you're a little girl?" And I said, "Yeah, I think she does."
Bill and Sarah's daughter, Dannon, who we'll meet in just a few minutes, was born male, but she identifies as female and now lives as a girl. Take a look.
When I was 2, I started to say all the time I was a girl, but I was a boy. I'm a girl. Nothing will stop me from being a girl. I love dresses, and especially sparkly ones with petticoats. My sparkly, sassy green dress. Then next I have my ruby slippers. They're covered in sparkly little sequins. I love shoes. I love clothes. I just love them so much. Then I have my sequin bag. The sequins are very iridescent. Boys are gross, disgusting, and they're too boyish. I think when God made me, he gave me the wrong part of the body. Everything else was girl, except one part.
Okay, if that's not a girl, I don't know what a girl is. Joining us is Dr. Johanna Olson, the medical director at the Center for Trans Youth Health and Development at Children's Hospital here in Los Angeles. Also with us is Casey Weitzman, a family therapist who specializes in gender identity and sexual orientation issues. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so glad we're able to talk about this subject matter. Tell us the difference between transgender, transsexual, and some of the other names out there.
So we've kind of taken on transgender as an umbrella term to kind of include anybody who's gender non-conforming, who does things that are maybe different from what the expectations are for their body and what those gender roles that come along with that body.
But it's sort of a gray area because all little kids, you know, the girls play with trucks and the boys want to dress up and play with the dolls. I mean, how do you know when it's really a child that might be transgender?
What we do know from the research is that kids who have greater levels of gender dysphoria or unhappiness about the gender they're assigned are more likely to be transgender adolescents and adults. But it is true that a lot of kids are gender nonconforming. They do things that are typically assigned to another gender than the one that they have assigned.
So, Casey, what are we to do? Are we to let them be who they want to be and not, you know, sort of be overly concerned if they're not doing something that is gender specific for their gender?
That would be fantastic if we could let them just be who they want to be and let them play and cross-dress. And I think the difficult part is if you don't let them do that and you try and fit them into some kind of box.
So it's all our fault.
The beautiful part is it's not your fault.
I mean, it just seems like, you know, it does seem to be more socially acceptable. I know we have a long way to go. I know we have a long, long way to go. But it does seem that, certainly in the time when I was doing my old talk show, this wasn't something we talked about regularly. It does seem to be with Chaz Bono. I mean, I did Dancing with the Stars with Chaz Bono. And so I was sort of up close and personal with, you know, not knowing him as a child. But, you know, is it more common these days?
I don't think so. I think that it's just more in the eye of the media, and it's also because we are rethinking the way that we socially define gender roles. So we are saying maybe those roles that we have based on things that don't exist anymore are not appropriate roles.
I mean, I'm really proud of the fact that we're doing this, you know, this kind of show. I think it really is important. With Dannon, who is 9, but she is coming up on puberty, what are the plans medically for her? Do you know what's in store?
We're working very closely with an endocrinologist at Children's Hospital in Orange County, and we're monitoring her levels of puberty. Every 3 months we get blood tests done, and there's 5 stages of puberty. So when she reaches stage 2, which will include, you know, things will change, but not in a manner that you would be able to notice, you know, no facial hair, voice, you know, lowering or Adam's apple. They will put her on a hormone blocker, which will just basically, it's like putting a pause button on puberty. And everything, you know, is reversible. When she turns 11, she will be able to go on female hormones so that she will be able to develop breasts at the same time her friends are. And again, this is reversible. Should she decide, you know what, I really am more comfortable identifying as the gender that I was born as, once the blockers are removed, puberty will ensue, testosterone will come back in, and she will develop as a male.
Wow, wow. It's incredible what we're able to do these days. What would you say to other families that are maybe watching this show and they feel like they have a kid that's similar to your daughter?
Well, that's one of the reasons we're here, is to help people that are going through that. And we even have a parents group that we meet once a month and kind of talk about things.
We actually, it's called Shift Happens, and we start off with 4 parents.
Wow, you say that fast, 3 times fast.
No,
it sounds like something else.
I have to really emphasize there is an F in there.
Okay.
F as in Frank. But we started off with 4 parents, and we now have 48. So, and that's just in the Orange County area. So that's saying something. But
and the more that people look into this, the more they can understand it. There are places they can find help.
And first of all, I was really relieved to learn that it was, something I could, that it wasn't mental illness that I was going to have to battle with medications and things like that all her life. But at the same time, I started racking my brain, what was I eating when I was pregnant? I worked in a really old building, down by the Port of Los Angeles, to have asbestos in it.
And there's nothing you did.
Yeah, but it took a while for me to really, accept that, and to embrace that this is just how God made her.
And made her pretty spectacularly.
Yeah.
Because we're going to meet her.
Amazing.
You want to meet Dannon? We will meet this amazing kid right after this and hear what she has to say about her life as a girl. We'll be right back. Welcome back. We are talking about gender identity issues. Bill and Sarah are here with their beautiful daughter, Dannon, who is here to tell us what life is like for her. Great to have you here. How pretty does she look? So, I know you're 9, right? You're 9. So when do you remember feeling like you were a girl?
At the age of 2.
You just knew it. And just nobody else knew it. And so now, what grade are you in?
4th.
And so how's school for you these days?
Wonderful.
Yeah? Is it hard for you sometimes to figure out what to wear?
Yes.
Yes? Is it hard for other people to understand you sometimes, or is it getting easier?
It's getting easier.
Yeah. What would you say to the people that are watching you and tell them what it's like to be you?
It's wonderful, and you should be proud of who you are.
Yeah, amen, sister. So do you have lots of friends at school?
Yes.
What's your favorite thing to do at school? I know you love Les Miserables.
Yes.
You love Broadway musicals like me. Fan of the opera?
Yes.
Yeah. You guys too? Yes. It's wonderful. I think we should make a date to go see the movie when it comes out. Wouldn't that be fun? That would be so cool. So what were you for Halloween this year?
I was Draculaura, the daughter of Dracula from Monster High.
Did it go over big, that costume?
Yes.
Well, I have to say, you're one of my favorite girls I've ever had on this show. Really, really. I really thank you for being here, and your parents are pretty awesome, too. Thank you. You are a star.